Thank you for joining us today on A Certain Sound. We are in 2 Chronicles chapter 29. Here we are one more day. What a wonderful day to get into the Word of God. There's so much in here. I want to encourage you, if this is your first time listening, join up, all right? Yeah, you can sign up on your email to get this every day. If you have problems with that, let us know. We'd be glad to take care of it for you. But 2 Chronicles 29, looking at verse 1, it says that Hezekiah was 25 when he began to reign. You can be a young preacher, you can be a young man, and you can do what is right in the sight of the Lord. You see, friends, Hezekiah did, verse 2, what was right in the sight of the Lord. And we want to say today that as we get into the road to revival, we need revival. Wouldn't you not agree? How do we get it? Well, you're just going to see some things that happen that Hezekiah did. First of all, he was a young man who did that which was right in the sight of the Lord. I happen to believe that the young people of today are hungry to do what is right in the sight of the Lord. I think they're tired of entertainment. I think they're tired of being looked at, all right, as young people who don't know what's right and wrong. I believe they're tired of it. I think they want truth, and I think they're looking for people, older men and women, senior saints, so to speak, those who are older than them, to set the standard and to stand up for what is right. And I believe Hezekiah was a man of God. Though he was young, he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord. What did he do? As the king, look what he did. Go to verse 3. Look at this. We need young preachers, old preachers. I don't care how old, young you are. We need preachers to follow this example right here, to read this book and see what he is saying to us. And what Hezekiah did, if he can do it when he was 25, then preacher, you can do it if you're 35, 45, 55, 75, 105, should Jesus allow us to live that long, right? It can happen. Look at verse 3. He, in the first year of his reign, notice, in the first year of his pastorate, he didn't wait. He did it right away. Do you know when the time is to do that which is right in the sight of the Lord? Now. Right now. Don't wait for a committee meeting. Do it now. Look at this. In the first year of his reign, in the first month, he opened the doors of the house of the Lord and repaired them. If we want to see revival in our churches, I think one of the things we have to do is have the guts, to use that terminology, to stand up and do what is right in the sight of the Lord, number one. And number two, do it now. Don't wait. Do what's right now. The Lord's been speaking to you to do what's right. Well, what's one of the things he did? Well, the first thing he did was open the doors of the church. His dad, Ahaz, had closed them. It's time for us to open them. Maybe as a Christian, you're sitting there today and saying, I haven't been in church in a long time. Well, would you say it's right to go to church, or would you say it's wrong to go to church? It depends on what church it is. Absolutely. But it is right to go to the house of God. Maybe you're a preacher, and you've been tempted by all the other preachers to close down church on Sunday nights. Hey, let me just say it this way. Hebrews chapter 10 says, we need to not forsake the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is. Now listen to this. Even more so as you see the day approaching. I just have to say, as we see the day approaching, what's that? The coming of the Lord. The tribulation is about to begin. What do you see? Well, then I think, preacher, we ought not to close the door. I think we ought to open the door of the house of the Lord and repair it. Get back to repairing what's been damaged. Maybe you're a pastor and you just took over this church, and the pastor previous to you closed the Sunday night service because of lack of interest. Maybe the lack of interest was his own. But let me just say this. If you've just taken over that pastorate, why don't you stand up and open the doors of the house of God right now? Because you know what you'll be saying to your people? If you'll open those doors regardless of how many people show up, you will be making a statement to them that you see the signs of the times and you know the day is approaching. It's time to open the doors.
Thank you for watching A Certain Sound Daily Video Devotional. A Certain Sound is a production of Word of Truth Christian Center in Bowling Green, Ohio. For more information or to listen to the 1-hour internet radio program titled Truth Talk, visit us online at www.wordoftruthbg.org. You can also write to us at Word of Truth Christian Center, 1163 Napoleon Road, Bowling Green, Ohio, 43402, or send an email to wotcc@wordoftruthbg.org. When writing, be sure to ask how to get a complimentary CD of a Sunday morning message preached at Word of Truth Christian Center. For Word of Truth Christian Center and A Certain Sound Daily Video Devotional, I'm Sonetta. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow.